So there was a crash at Reagan International Airport involving a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger jet, which has been all over the news, which I'm sure you've already heard about. And there's a lot of common talking points you've been hearing about the diversity hires under the administration of Pete Buttigieg from the last presidential administration, which the media conveniently isn't talking about. Of course, you know, I've said this many times in previous videos about these are people that have come out of Ivy League schools. They believe in this woke nonsense, this nihilistic nonsense that's coming out of these universities. And yes, that is a problem. But in this particular case, this is not the issue. Yes, it's a problem having diversity hires, but that aside. It's also been talked about Black Hawk helicopters. I mean, they're maneuverable. If you see an obstacle, they can maneuver a lot easier than a passenger jet can, especially when it's trying to land. So that's more than suspicious. The crew on the Black Hawk helicopter was a minimal crew. Now, I'm not an expert. I don't know those kind of details, what's typical of these helicopters, but I've read in a few places that it was a small crew. It was like a skeleton crew that was operating this, supposedly. I mean, this is what's being reported. And I even question some of the things that are being reported too. Like, where are people getting this information? I suspect that there's foul play involved in this. You don't fly a helicopter in an airport and not be responsive to air traffic control. You know, now people have pointed out that the air traffic control was understaffed, but that's something that is actually not uncommon. I mean, yeah, these things are understaffed. They don't have enough competent people working that, and it is a stressful job. I do know a little bit about aviation. I do read. I actually watch YouTube videos on the subject. And there are a lot of things going on, and it also depends on the particular airport too. Like Boston's airport is a mess the way it's designed, but that aside, I mean, this is more than suspicious. I think it's quite obvious that there's foul play involved. Probably one of the biggest indicators of that is that within a very short time of this happening, the media already has their talking points. There are anti-Trump talking points. They're talking about how Trump is starting to eliminate sections of the government, and they're blaming that on this accident, which has nothing to do with it. If you look at the details of it, no air traffic control personnel was let go so far, and probably won't be unless the person's incompetent. But you know, the fact that they would have their talking points within a very short period of time, I think is one of the biggest red flags. Number one, at the very least, it shows their ideological bias in favor of a nihilistic, you know, essentially anti-reason, anti-Western mindset. Although I suspect it goes deeper than that. I think this was done on purpose. I think that this whole thing is I think that the helicopter was controlled by remote control, or may have been hacked into, and then was sent to crash into the jet as it was landing. And I think the media had their talking points immediately. This is, if you will, this I think stinks of a false flag. So that's my thoughts on that.